Well, welcome to Doug Does Stuff. I'm Doug, and this is my Kobra X. And today, we're going to do a review of what I think about the Kobra X and the specs. Now, I bought this with my own money, so I get to say what I want about it, and my opinions are all mine, whether or not they be good, bad, or indifferent. Do me a favor, go ahead and hit the like and the subscribe button, and let's help build the channel up. I would greatly appreciate it. We want to find out today, is the Anycubic Kobra X the new king of budget printers? Well, Anycubic has gone ahead and made a fast 4-color machine for under $300 with a large build plate. And you know what else? Anycubic has said bedslingers still have a place here. So let's get going and let's start looking at some of the specs of the Kobra X. All right, so let's talk about some specs of the machine and discuss them as we go through. I'm going to put up some visuals from the Anycubic site just so you can follow along. All right, so the Anycubic X is a bed slinger that is an open frame, meaning there's no box around it. This is very much like those old Ender 3s over there, or that generation of machine. Anycubic has gone ahead and made this machine, even though it's a bed slinger, relevant. They've given it linear rails versus those old palm wheels where they would loosen up and you'd have to tighten them and make sure everything was just right. They would be grooved. The linear rails, it just adds to a level of quality for this machine that helps it be fast, efficient, and give you nice quality prints. On top of that, they've given us a 260 by 260 by 260 build area. That's bigger than the Kobra 3 V2, which is I think 255, and their current flagship Kobra S1, which is 250 by 250. Now I know the Kobra S1 Max is on the way out, and that's going to be much bigger. I'm actually excited about that one. What else? So looking at the printer, it is a 4-color printer, but before we get there, we have to talk about the Ace Gen 2 Toolhead. This is a revolutionary design that we don't really see. Like, you don't see a lot of changes in 3D printers, but you do here. This is a cool machine in here. There's like a cam in there that switches between channels as the filament comes in, giving you faster filament changes because the distance between the cutter and the nozzle is much shorter than the other printers. And then the retraction distance, how much filament has to go back up before it changes, is also much shorter. So because of that, you get two benefits. You get faster purges, less waste. Oh, and a third one, faster print times because there's less time working. Actually, I am printing right now a little chicken, multicolor chicken, where on this machine, I think it's 1 hour and 47 minutes. And on my Kobra S1, for the same exact print of just one of these, it's 3 hours and 12 minutes. That's a big difference. More about the Ace Gen here, the tool head in here, or the nozzle, is a hardened steel tip nozzle out of the gate. Thank you, Anycubic. We appreciate that. What that means is you can print abrasive filaments like glow in the dark and others without worrying about the brass nozzle being chewed up. That's cool. It can reach 300 degrees, which means you can print anything from PLA to ASA. But that's where the problem is going to come in. You can't, or I mean, you could, but you probably shouldn't be printing filaments like ABS and ASA because they give off toxic VOCs. You would want a printer that is enclosed with air filtration, heated chamber to give you the best quality prints and to take care of those toxic VOCs. You do you, but I don't see that happening in mine. Next thing, while the tool head is cool, it's cool right now. What happens at the 500-hour mark or when the tool head breaks down? Is it going to be still an innovation or is it going to be a nightmare to deal with? I think time's going to tell. All right, let's talk about speed. Now, if you look at the Anycubic website, it says 600 millimeters per second. And while technically that's probably capable of doing that, that's a lot of fine tuning of filament and printer settings to get that. And you're really only going to see that in a straight line. More realistically, this is at the 200 to 300 millimeters per second range, depending on what you're printing, what filament you're using, all of that. And if you're coming from like a side upgrade, meaning another current printer, the speed's not going to be that much different. The speed increase for you is going to be in the tool head and the way it deals with filament changes. But if you're coming from like an Ender 3 generation of printers, this is going to be life-changing for you, and it's going to make you giggle the first time you watch it happen because you're going to be really amazed. Onto the multicolor. The multicolor system, listen, out of the box for $300, you're getting 4 colors. You don't have to buy a multi-material system to get 4 colors. It comes this way for $300. That's amazing. Come back here. All of the color changes, like I said, happen here in the Ace Gen 2. So there's no need for another hub and another multi-material system. You can print, though, on this, you can print up to 19 colors. 19 colors. That's going to be 4 Ace 2 Pros. In order to get there, you have to daisy chain them together, but you can get up to 19 colors. So you'll have the 3 here, and then the 4 spool Ace 2 Pros to get up to that 19. But really, who's printing 19 colors? I know I'm not. I can think of maybe people who do a lot of hue forge. But if you have an idea, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Tell me who might use 19 colors. I can see 8 colors happening. Maybe 12, but even that. I see more of this, in the 8 color range, but with one Ace 2, you get 7 colors, not 8 colors, because you need to be able to feed one in, and then you have the other 3. Just keep that in mind. And one more thing to keep in mind about the Ace 2, and this video is not about the Ace 2, while it's had a lot of updates and it seems like it's going to be better than the original Ace, it's not. You can't use the original Ace Pro with this machine. It has to be the Ace 2 Pro. But the Ace 2 Pro is backwards compatible with like the Kobra S1. So if you get the combo, you could use it with your other printer if you have it. I thought I ordered the combo, but I didn't. I'm okay with 4 colors. All right, let's keep on going. So yeah, like I said, the multicolor savings here seem significant. I'll show again the slicer times here. I haven't calculated the purge waste that comes out, but other people have, and they do say it's better. Is it 81%? I don't know. Who knows? All right, let's keep on going here. So we talked a lot about the machine. The one thing we didn't talk about yet is the RFID tag reader. Most of the filament systems have it built in. In order to do it here, and I'll do a cutaway here if I can when this is done, you take, you find the tag with the RFID tag and you scan it over here and it picks it up and automatically loads the filament profile. Now, it's a little bit wonky, it takes a little bit of time to do it. You got to move it around. It's helpful to get you started, but to be honest, if you're a more experienced printer, you're not really relying on RFID tags. You're putting in your own profiles that you already have established. So you're going to do that in the slicer anyway. If you're new to printing, or you're going to live in the Anycubic sphere of influence from printer to filament and only use their profiles, it's great. Scan it, put it in, go to the slicer, put your model in, hit print, all is good. So it's cool that it's there, but is it like game changing? No. All right, the next thing on the printer is it has level Q 3.0. And what that is they say it helps level the system. And I'm going to say I am impressed. This was my very first print on my Kobra X. And this is framing. I am going to frame this first layer sheet and put it up somewhere because I was impressed. All right, so it also has other calibrations in here. When you set it up, it has a resonance calibration like a lot of the newer printers do. Interesting one was it had a noise cancellation calibration, and that was really cool. I don't know what it's doing, but it's canceling noise out somehow. It is a quiet printer. I'm sitting right here, and I don't think you can hear it. It's got AI monitoring in it, foreign object detection, spaghetti detection, object skipping, a lot of the common stuff that you see in a lot of new printers. A huge upgrade here is the Wi-Fi. It is not only 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi compatible, but it is also 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi compatible. And that is awesome because for people who don't know how to set up their home networks and just rely on a plug and play system, if your printer only works on 2.4, sometimes it doesn't work and you got to do a lot of setup to get that to work. So having that ability to be 2.4 or 5, I think is just a step in the right direction. So thank you, Anycubic. So that's basically the specs of the printer. I really think it is kind of, Anycubic really here did something different. I think that's great. Where I wish they would do something different is with the slicer. You have to use the Anycubic slicer. And what it is it's a fork of Orca, but it's a few iterations behind, meaning you lose some of the new features coming out that Orca is pushing out. And because Anycubic puts their own skin on it, they change features and stuff. And they add their own monitoring page so you can monitor the printer and the ACE 2 if you have it, or the filament system. I use it with this. I wish that they would open up Orca and make it natively supported, just because Orca seems to be ahead and has some really good things. On top of that, you have an app on your phone you can use as well to monitor from anywhere, as long as you're connected to the cloud, to watch what's happening and cancel if you need to. So yeah, let's keep on going. What's next? Let me show you some examples. So I have done, all right, so I printed the poop bin for here, and it came out really nice. I mean, this came out excellent. No supports, and I have a nice, bevel here, and it fits, get in there. It fits right in. I mean, that was one of my first prints, and I was very pleasantly surprised. I also did a little scraper tool. That's cool. I've done a bunch of cookie cutters for somebody who needs them, and these came out really nice. And then again, like I said, I did my little check here, which I'm printing more of on the printer. It even got the whites of the eyes in there. So it did a really nice job with that as well. All right, so on to my final thoughts on this printer and my recommendations. Now, I've put about 30 hours on this, maybe a little bit more than that at this point, and I really like it, to be honest. I think it's a highly capable printer that's going to appeal to a lot of new people that are getting into 3D printing, but it's also going to appeal to more experienced folks as well, like myself, but for different reasons, right? Like the newbies, this is truly, if you stay in the Anycubic sphere of influence, this is a plug and play solution right now. I know there's some issues out there, but I haven't seen them. But listen, every printer has issues, right? Like it's not just this one, it's all of them. I see this living in, like I said, the PLA, PETG, TPU space. I don't really see printing more than that, at least for myself, just because it's not an enclosed printer. And to go and enclose it, I'm going to be spending as much on all of that as I would on a new printer meant to do that. So yeah, I think that's where it's going to be. You have to do your research. I say this is a capable printer. I would recommend it at this point. I've actually recommended it to a lot of people. I think right now it seems to be a monster of a machine. I think it's the new king of the hill. I think it's knocking off some of those big guys off the top because of the quality, the speed, the price. If you watch, I'm sure the price is going to come down. You can get it lower. And so like for all of that, if you're looking for a 3D printer or if you're wondering about the Kobra X, this one gets the Doug stamp of approval. And I don't really say that about Anycubic all the time. I give them a lot of crap. I got no crap to give right now. So thanks, Anycubic. You made a good printer. I'm really happy. All right, everybody. If you gotten this far, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one.